Good evening, William F. DeVault, U.S. National Beat Poet Laureate Emeritus and Romantic Poet of the Internet. This is the 13th heroic crown of sonnets from my book Liaison. Its title is Woebegone. One. I feel and face your absence profoundly, the silence and warmth and pressure missing, as well as all those sweet magics soundly that can segue from passionate kissing to torrid lovemaking of a nature of true lovers, cast together, inspired by the beauty of their coupling, the pure essence of life consummated, required by one another's needs and desires, soft and urgent, all senses engaged, focused on our paramours, poetry aloft, rising to a certain purpose, locust in the desert, all sustenance destroyed. There is a vacant spot next to me, void. 2. There is a vacant spot next to me, void of heat but not of memory. I know what you have done and would do. I avoid surrendering to your exit, the slow and wasteful emotion seeking to lay upon me, smother my rhapsody to a sleep of death of my heart. But I stay alive and vigilant for you, anew whispering your urgencies, soft tremors, building to a rattle, tattling on our night's festival of memory, embers flaming as the walls crack and split, power at the precipice. We speak profoundly of the needed heat of your heart, soundly. 3. Of the needed heat of your heart, soundly, it is known to me, if no other, held even in the deepest doubts and roundly denounced out of necessity. You've shelled this guarded soul and made a meal of it more than once, but it is immortal essence that, even in despair, can sit calmly in the fires, await the portal that shall bring me to you, or you to me, so that, whatever the circumstances, we can be together and face banshee keens determined to end summer dances ere they have begun. But we merge, alloyed, set on never sleeping apart, a void. 4. Set on never sleeping apart, a void, the void we are inevitable to, reaching out with prayerful hands, paranoid, the end of all things that are new and true. Whispers shake the ceiling, and the faintest draught becomes the hurricane, fierce and raw, to tear life from me, to deny my best intentions and inventions, the heart's law overturned and joy denied, injustice in the face of expectations, thrown down with a savage roar that encompasses and shatters my glass soul and mocking crown that signified hope, now in vanity, but something more profound, profanity. 5. But something more profound, profanity, to the forgotten gods of childhood's torn from us in rapacious villainy, unable to accept Nazarite's shorn locks and betrayal, blinded in the pain of the wrenching of my heart from my chest. The cleansing baptism gives way to stain, and the flow of polluted blood, the test of endurance to be walking barefoot, of hot broken glass and brass caltrops, traps and challenges for the tempered, with soot and the illusion of strength. An atlas caps the sky, so I cannot escape this fraud and cruel subversion of the will of God. 6. And cruel subversion of the will of God tests the faith and persistence of lovers, dependent on at least slightly skewed odd in their favor. But with table covers pulled out from under the grail, we tumble end over end and spend time in limbo, waiting for the revelations crumble in the candid, coherent light's morrow, hiding evidence from us, if we choose to be our victims of denial, sent to the back of the class to give up, lose the opportunity to make advent in selfish anguish, our insanity, for we were woven for this vanity. 7. For we were worn for this vanity, woven for this vanity, for this self-absorption that seals our fate in the revocation of sanity, in the name of fury turned inward, hate and degradation, the public display of bitterness and inability to rise up, not just to fly, but to lay foot to asphalt and with civility walk out the door into blasphemous night that rends and rips and corrupts the fabric of our mosaic memories. The light no longer our companion. End tragic unless we can rise and find us a God, the reflection of our best virtues, laud. The reflection of our best virtues, laud. The lover, even when unrequited, requiem for our worst, lifeless facade, more ash than fire. True desire, despited for our failing sight. Lack of vision guides us into the roughest of paths, as does a questing heart. True heroes fail the tides, but seek the path of honor. Nonetheless, redefining love and lover in doubt, that which we knew was myth and mystery is filling in the ignorant holes without substance or any more truth. Histories. But there is fire on the horizon. Fresh, the design and the intention to mesh. 9. The design and the intention to mesh flesh to flesh is not always destiny. Sometimes we must make our own fates. The fresh zest of awakenings. Striving. Many knocks on the door are ignored. Our entry delayed, if allowed at all, as our suit is considered sly calculations. Be working in the either. Our best refute of free will is the perplexing concept that we choose who to love, in obsessing in a way that lays us prone to incept the soft brilliance of the carnal blessing, once obscure, but now obvious, once blind in all manner of things, even defined. 10. In all manner of things, even defined as chaotic as clothes strewn in a path to the bedroom, if we are so inclined, to take the options presented. The bath of purification, our sweat as smooth baptism, connecting to the most holy creation of the Creator, a truth often overlooked. Even the lowly are too proud to admit that they are held in the spell and the spiral of emotions when the thunderbolt strikes and we are spelled by the rain of fluids that fill oceans, while we seek to find and bind in the flesh our places in the pattern we refresh. 11. Our places in the pattern we refresh with our presences as we pass through this world, to pick our paths with all of thought and flesh to reach an unimaginable buried colossus, grown in pine and oak and yew. It wasn't until unexpectedly you had mounted me, I finally knew you wanted me, just as you counted me easy to capture, but to hold a text of Tantalus, affection, intellect, and a sense of the complexity best understood after a long coit. Respect on one who has found the new sky, aligned the horizon, then look until made blind. 12. The horizon, then look until made blind. See the shadows of things yet to come to the present in this place. We will yet find that nothing is impossible if you cast aside the notion that what we are is what we were before we found our hearts in synchronized patterns that transcend far more than the limits of our meeting parts, that shift our minds to overdrive and peel out the limits of imagination struck, then deconstructed as we reveal what we had hidden away for ration of the impossible, as we near it by the radiance of rebirth. Spirit. 13. By the radiance of birth, spirit sometimes becomes greater. We find purpose in purgatory, the story of fit feast released for the consummation, plus all the inestimable side dishes, the infinite color wheel, now serving more than the basketed loaves and fishes, but the full dimensions. Undeserving we are of the legacy of stardust, but it falls to us Inheritors found in ramshackle finery, peace, peace and lust both captured by the winds in the resound of our curses, verses in an obit, transcendent in our bliss as we near it. 14. Transcendent in our bliss as we near it. We find it in memories and actions to experience what we inherit from ancient lovers who risked transactions of limitless value for a pocket filled with lint and candy wrappers, plastic to be thrown away with used condoms, wet with shared experience, but not drastic and flurried, hurried, rising. Luxuria without vision or affection to bear, the pressure mounting, counting fury, a sign of desire, a fire of lover's prayer for redemption. As with sharp fear soundly I feel and face your absence profoundly. 15. I feel and face your absence profoundly. There is a vacant spot next to me, void, but the needed heat of your heart soundly set on never sleeping apart, a void, but something more profound, profanity and cruel subversion of the will of God, where we were woven for this vanity, the reflection of our best virtues, laud the design and the intention to mesh in all manner of things, even to find our places in the pattern we refresh, the horizon, then look until made blind by the radiance of rebirth, spirit transcendent in our bliss as we near it.